everyone, how are you all doing tonight? Hello, Candy Elmo, it is great to see you. I have a special guest with me tonight. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. This is Abby. She's one of my girlfriends. She's very cute. I love her a lot. She's great. And we are gonna be reading some stuff together tonight. We will be reading Heart of the Woods, a very good tracking. A very good visual novel by Studio Elan, the creators of a lot of stuff. Highway Blossoms, Please Be Happy, which I played here before. Yeah, they make really good stuff, and I'm really excited to play it. It's been ages since I played it the first time, and I've been meaning to do, redo on it. Yeah, oh, lots of folks here. Hello, Lovely Mimic, Victoria Pupper, yeah,
Hi.
Non-Glitch Sister, yeah, lots of folks, yeah.
I am Abby.
Hello, Amber, yeah. Oh, Mills. Oh, lots of cuties here. Yeah.
Hello, cuties.
That's you.
Whoa.
Yeah. We are both gonna be reading it out. It's gonna be cool and fun. I'm really excited. It's a genuinely spectacular game. I love it a lot. There's some really good characters, really cute stuff, but I should warn folks. Big content warning for death and abuse as major themes, so keep that in mind. It's time. Hello, Nikki. Good to see you, babe. Ooh, well, thank you very much for following. Welcome to the network. Yeah, oh wow, I'm getting very close to that surprise. I might need to get things going a bit more forward. Oh, and Glitch Sister as well, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the network. But, without further ado, let's get going. Right. Once this pops up, Abby, I'm gonna share it with you.
Awesome.
On Steam. On Steam.
You can do it, Steam.
You can do it. You can do it.
Come on.
There you go. All right. Let me.
Cat, I was not. Please stop.
Everything okay?
Oh, the cat just thought I was talking.
Yeah. So there are two main pairs, romantically in this. We're gonna each be voicing one person from each. So, Abby, would you like to voice the film buff and the shy girl, or the trans girl and the really gay ghost?
Ooh, that's tough. That is incredibly tough. Oh, hold on. Hi. That is incredibly tough.
I can flip a coin if you want.
That works perfect because I'm an indecisive bitch.
Right, so... Odd, I get terrible. Alright. I am going to be playing Tara and Abigail. And Abby, you will be playing Maddie and Morgan. Sound good?
Well, that's gonna get confusing because I didn't know there was a girl named Abigail in this thing.
Should have reconsidered. Actually, yeah, no.
That makes more sense.
Okay, yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah, I should have said the actual names. Yeah, alright.
Okay.
You're gonna be Tara and Abby. Okay.
Woo! Wait, I get to be Abby?
Yeah. Wow.
Holy shit.
Who knew?
Who would have thought that I would get to be Abby?
Anyway, let's get going.
Me 3 years ago.
And then for, like, additional voices, because there's a couple, we'll just alternate them off.
Sounds like a plan. If I do a funny accent, I apologize.
Thank you for downloading Heart of the Woods. Please configure the following accessibility settings before starting the story. you can change these options at any time. This is really cool. Heart of the Woods has some great accessibility stuff. It is genuinely wonderful. Right. We're gonna have screen shake on. We're gonna have music and audio cues on. Alright. And then image descriptions. Alright. There you go. And welcome to Heart of the Woods.
Oh, it's already so gay.
It's immensely gay. Right. Options.
I can smell the gay through the screen.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I will be, again, Maddie and Morgan, and, Abby, you will be Tara and Abigail. Then I'll probably, then, I will get, no, not all. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Hi, hello, Alexa does Twitch as well, yeah. Alright. And there's a couple other major characters. Do I have any saves here? Okay, I do not. Good. Just making sure. Sound effects down just there. And let's begin. Chapter 1. A Winter Wonderland. That's how this place was pitched to us. Out in the middle of a forest, an unpronounceable name, in a village that time forgot. In the email, it sounded like every other ghost hunter's paradise that we get messaged about. Oh, that was something. Oh, thank you for the host glitch, sister. It really helps, yeah. It sounded like every other ghost hunter's paradise that we get messaged about. Isolated and antiquated, with a tourism board encouraging hokey effects and gaudy billboard. The vast majority of those emails go unanswered. If Tara weren't so capricious, this one probably would have too. But no. Something about journeying into the middle of nowhere for a month struck her fancy. And, like always, I let myself get dragged into it. So, here I am, for the last time. The train beats out a slow, monotonous rhythm beneath us. It's an older machine, the sort that looks like it's supposed to take us to a wizarding school or that should be in a museum. When I bought the tickets, I thought we'd be getting on something a bit more modern. Oops. I shift in my seat, the tattered cushion and wooden boards doing little to soothe the pain in my back. Been on this train for 12 hours, and I can feel every one of them in my bones. Tara's been up for the past 6, upright but fast asleep. If the bumpy ride bothers her, she doesn't show it. The paperback she was reading dangles low in her hand, in danger of losing her spot in the book. I scuff my feet across the floor, picking at nothing. As hard as I am, I'm afraid for our journey to end. For Tara to wake up. I have to talk to her. I'm almost offended that she can sleep. She should be as preoccupied as I am, fighting off intrusive thoughts and wondering what to say. You wouldn't know from looking at her that we've barely spoken for 3 days. That's how long ago I told her that this would be our last trip for the show together, and that I was quitting once we got back home. Everything since then, packing, booking our tickets, finding someone to take care of the cat while they're gone, happened in a blur. We've been cordial, but that's it. My heart hurts, but it tells me that I made the right decision. Yawning, I lean back against my seat and pretend it's comfortable. Cushions are unnoticeable, nearly as firm as the wooden floor beneath us. A heater in the corner hems and haws like an old man, but it's not nearly powerful enough to fight off the chill. I desperately wish that I could sleep too, but one of us needs to be awake when we get to the station, and that should be any minute now. Plus, I've never been able to fall asleep on planes or trains anyway. My eyes are sore, and I rubbed one of them as I pressed my cheek to the cold window. Outside, it may as well be another world compared to the city we left behind. Not for the moonlight, I wouldn't be able to see anything, but the soft, white glow makes the snow in nearby forests glisten like it's under some sorceress spell. Oh, that sounds really beautiful, honestly. That sounds great. Snowy forests are really cool.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. As somebody who grew up in Southern California, seeing snow is just not something I'm used to.
Yeah, same,
so I
same.
take extra time to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, it snowed here in Seattle for the first time, or not the first time, it's definitely snowed in Seattle. But it snowed, it was the first time I had gotten to be outside while it was actively snowing.
Nice.
It was a whole other type of experience, and I was really lucky to get to experience it.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, just check, actually, let me quickly pull up Abby's audio a bit, and
if you cannot hear me, I apologize.
Yeah, no, it was just like a bit quiet on my side, so I fixed it.
Let me see.
Yeah, no, it was just, I just did Discord volume adjust, it's fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Winter Wonderland.
Yep.
The trees are all bare, save for the blanket of snow that covers them. Their empty branches look like something out of a kid's Halloween movie, shaking in the wind as if possessed. They seem to stretch on forever, farther than I can even see. It's like an ocean. Yeah, it's more like an ocean than a forest. Morgan certainly wasn't exaggerating when she said this place was remote. Intermittent lights flicker amongst the trees in the distant darkness, which I assume come from either winter campers or hermits. I'd call them crazy, but I'm about to be in the exact same position. Something catches my eye, way out in the woods. One of the trees, barely visible, seems to shake in a different way than the rest, as if blown by a different breeze. A thin layer of frost is beginning to form on the outside of the window as I push my face against it, turning to try and find whatever it was I saw. It's gone, though. It was almost certainly never even there to begin with. Either my eyes were playing tricks on me, or the moonlight was. I sigh and sit back again, allowing my eyes to barely close. Don't fall asleep. Just... I'm jostled back into alertness as the train lurches harder than before. There's a shrill whistling sound, and then the shudders of the train grow stronger as we begin to slow down. The driver hit the brakes. We're almost there. Across from me, Tara's undisturbed. Somehow, she still hasn't dropped her book. Apparently she's less clumsy when she's asleep. Through the frosted window, I can see the lights of what must be Eisenfeld as we approach the station. They're few and far between, like scattered stars. Can we get a choo-choo in chat?
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo! I mean, if folks would like to do a hype train, I absolutely would love that.
Hype train.
The buildings appear to be placed sporadically, nestled on and around a hill. As we round a bend, the village goes out of sight once more. I can't really put this off any longer. I lean over and shake Tara's shoulder. Hey, wake up. We're almost there. Without opening her eyes, Tara mumbles a response.
How close is almost?
Seriously? I don't know, couple minutes?
Okay, I'm getting up.
She isn't getting up. I mean it. If you sleep through the stop, we're just gonna...
Come up, Mads.
She finally opens her eyes. I cut off the end of my sentence, not sure if I was serious or not. We're not even there yet and we're already snappy. God, I wish I could sleep. Just a little longer, I tell myself.
You excited?
A little bit. Why? You?
And you nervous still?
Weird how, like, the actual effect of her opening her eyes was only there for a second. Might be a bug, I don't know.
Maybe.
What is there to be nervous about? We've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, this isn't like those other 1,000 times. And you know that.
Shrugs again, not meeting my eyes.
I don't know, Maddie. I'm sorry. Let's chill.
Yeah, sorry. We lapsed into silence. At least when she was asleep, it wasn't awkward. I just want off this train. I want to be distracted by going to the cabin and taking in the new sights. Any minute now.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen! Yeah?
I know you're like not super thrilled to be here.
He pauses, likely hoping for me to disagree. I don't.
But let's just be cool, okay? Let's just try and have a good time.
I breathe a deep sigh and let it out slowly. He's right. I'm committed to this trip. I can at least make it easy on myself. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, Abby, you should take a sip of water too if you've got one.
Yes, I am beholden by the hydrate gods.
Good. Yeah, okay. Sorry for getting bitchy. I'm tired.
I feel you. Hey, how do I look?
Like you just slept for 6 hours on a train.
That bad, huh?
She messes with her hair in some attempt to improve its state. The results are unnoticeable at best.
Hopefully it's good enough for Morgan.
Fisher.
Morgan Fisher.
If she's meeting her online hero or whatever, then I doubt she'll care that your hair's a mess.
God, I hope not. I don't want to end up on some fashion faux pas bit. For real though, if she's super fangirl, then let's just let her get it out of her system, and hopefully she won't make things weird later.
Making things get weird later is kind of our specialty, though.
Yeah, true, but hey, got us to 250,000 subs, so, like, we must have been doing something right.
I mean, that's a silver play button. That is a very healthy amount of subscribers, yeah.
Yes. Yes. One can dream.
I would love to have 250,000 followers here on Twitch.
Yes, 250,000 parasocial relationships. Potential parasocial relationships.
Yeah. I just nod. I still can't help but fixate on how everything she says is past tense. It's over after this. It's fully my decision. All I have to do is say the words and things will go back to normal. I doubt Era would ever bring it up again if I asked her not to. It'd be so easy. Welcome to the heart of the woods. Step off the train and into another world. Frigid wind saps the heat from my body almost immediately, as if it had been waiting until we arrived to melt us until our skin felt like it was burning. I instinctively wrap my arms around myself to try and preserve what little body heat I have left, but it doesn't change a thing. Might as well not even be wearing a coat for all the good mine does. As nice as it is to have the moon keeping things from being completely pitch black, I could really go for some cloud cover right about now. Anything to keep some warmth around us. Sarah doesn't even notice the cold. Armed with nothing but her signature jacket, she seems immune to the chill. She oohs and ahs all over the rustic train platform like there might be a ghost hiding in the rafters.
Foreshadowing.
Just a minute later, the train rumbles off into the night, leaving us behind. Not a single passenger boarded. By the way, can I just say, the music is really good in this game. It's
Very
so
nice.
good. Yeah, it's so good.
It's just a relaxing music.
Mm-hmm. Also, both Tara and Maddie are adorable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm Tara because I am that exact way.
Yeah.
I am just I am immune to cold as it currently stands.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Tara's great. I actually styled my IRL hair off hers for a while. Yeah.
hey,
The music
Well, that
reminds me of
works.
Harvest Moon,
Good.
yeah.
I need to play Harvest.
Me too. We're Story of Seasons now, I guess.
Yeah.
Tara watches it go, nodding in approval.
Okay. This place is already killing it in terms of atmosphere.
By the way, if you look closely, she's got the fucking fang.
Oh yeah. She's definitely a thing, must be.
Yeah, spoilers, she's not cis. Not spoilers.
Surprised?
Yeah.
She's just killing it chill several times. She's definitely not cis.
Yeah. Wish we had fangs, yeah. It's like she's completely forgotten the uncomfortable energy that had killed the train. Back to her usual overly excited self. Start. Hello, Blue Cat, lovely to see you. Gosh, so many cuties in chat tonight. Mimic wants fangs. Aww.
Only estrogen did that. Just made your canines
yeah.
expand.
I mean, I actually noticed recently that my canines are actually kind of sharp, and that gave me a weird ride of gender euphoria for a day.
Oh no, absolutely same. I have really sharp teeth. I think it's because I have an overbite. So
Yeah,
generally
same.
speaking, I do all my chewing with my molars and my side canines. So
Yeah, same.
them's sharp teeth.
Yeah. I should probably be bitter, but instead, I can't help feeling jealous of how she can just shake it off. The new hot product, tooth sharpeners.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure those are actually like a thing.
It's incredibly bad for your teeth. Do not
do
sharpen your teeth.
Yeah, my canines are dull as hell. Oh, yeah. Disclaimer: do not sharpen your teeth. That'll fuck up the structure.
Yeah, like you will be in immense amount of pain.
Mm-hmm.
There are special molds you can put into your teeth to give your like actual vampire teeth if you want.
Yeah.
Do that instead.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
She has a little pocket camera that she's been carrying with her, and she uses it to take a few pictures of the inky blackness surrounding us. I'm playing Shepherd's Vale on the PS2. It's a Harvest Moonlight, but don't let the dev in behind it fool you. Oh boy.
Interesting.
I glance upward at the lights which hang from the ceiling. They're small candles lit with real flame as opposed to electric. One of them is blown out and swings uselessly in the breeze. They're about as ineffective at keeping away the darkness as my coat is at keeping me warm. The low light will surely ruin Tara's photos, but she's snapping away without a care. You know, none of those are actually gonna be visible, right? She ignores me. I should probably just let her enjoy the moment.
This place really does feel super eerie. Listen.
I do, and soon it becomes apparent what she's referring to. The silence. All around us, it's quiet. Even the sound of the train is faded, leaving us in total solitude. The flickering lights of Eisenfeld seem impossibly far away, though I know it can't be more than a half hour's walk.
It's so quiet. Isn't that cool? We're definitely not in Kansas anymore.
That's one way to put it. I strain my eyes and ears looking for any hint of Morgan, who's supposed to be picking us up. You'd think the sound of a car's engine would carry pretty far out here.
For real though, I think this could be the place where we finally get some hard evidence. Something solid.
Morgan is such a good name. It's a really good name, honestly, yeah.
So Morgan's a great name, but I prefer Morrigan because I had a friend who's incredibly was a super fan of Dragon Age, and that's the name that she called her cat, and ever since then it's stuck to me as like a good name. So it's Morgan and name. Morrigan.
Yeah, they're both great names. Yeah. She says this every time, but she usually sounds like she means it more.
Just look at it. Something's gotta be out there. I can feel it.
We both look off towards the trees. From the train, it was difficult to see where they ended. Here on the platform, it's impossible. My expectations aren't any higher than usual, though, which is to say, non-existent. I wonder if Tara really believes what she's saying either. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet.
That would be a perfect send-off, wouldn't it?
Her words sting. Damn it. Not here. Not already. I want to try and deflect away from this somehow, to set her back on her path. Let her enjoy this moment without me spoiling it. Who knows? Maybe this one will be the one that finally gets you a con panel so you don't have to crash someone else's.
That was one time and their panel would have sucked without me.
God, I forgot that. Also, very obvious Fang there.
No, absolutely. We have a
Big
dumbass
Fang.
Fang lesbian.
Yep. Oh, she's great. Yeah, tooth. Her voice has an edge of her typical bravado again. It's a relief to hear. She returns to a camera, and I give myself a moment to try and take in my surroundings. Supernatural or not, there's something oddly serene about this place. That said, I'd like it a lot more if it wasn't so damn cold. I shiver and cross my arms even tighter. Surely Morgan will be here soon.
I can't wait to see the village tomorrow. I hope it's like one of those museum exhibits with a little replica towns and people.
In what way?
Like, architecturally.
She sounds the word out slowly.
All rustic and old-timey.
I can't imagine that it'll be that different from home. They've gotta be modern enough for Morgan to watch Paranormal after all. Alright.
The name kills me.
Yeah, that's the name of their show.
Oh, boo. Boo.
Look, she's a fang transbian. Of course she's gonna have bad puns. That comes with the territory.
Probably, but that doesn't make them hurt any less.
Yeah. If you're expecting people to be walking around in monocles and waistcoats, you're gonna be disappointed.
And here I thought I'd finally get a chance to show off how amazing I look in a top hat.
Ah, the finger guns. The finger guns are adorable.
Finger guns in your general direction. I have anxiety.
Mood. I'm sure you'd be the teen heartthrob of the Victorian era. It gives me a brief snort of amusement. Her responses feel more muted than usual, but the fact that we're still able to banter is a good sign. I'm glad that I can cheer her up, even if I was the cause of her low mood in the first place. However, after a moment, she looks back at me. Her expression is serious for once.
Okay, so about Morgan. Like I said before, let's give her a chance to get all the excitement out of the way first. We should be nice and friendly, but let's try to keep her professional.
Never thought I'd hear you, of all people, say that. I find myself flashing back to all the unprofessional situations I've had to extricate Tara from, ranging from bad one-night stands to actual police custody.
Oh yeah, no, she's that. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
She's begated crimes.
Begated crimes.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways I could describe Tara, but professional is definitely not one of them.
Hey, I usually make a good first impression.
Oh, the little furrowed brows, even though she's trying to do the finger guns and everything. Oh, that's so great.
Oh, absolutely. Very gay. It's just the second impression and beyond that you gotta watch out for. Yes.
I laugh out loud at that, and I catch her smirking before she looks away. She can play it cool all she wants, but I can tell from the way she's bouncing up and down that she's undeniably excited for this fangirling she mentioned. It's usually one of her favorite parts. I'm sure a little ego boost will go a long way right about now. I can feel myself hopping back and forth slightly as well, but that's more out of a desire to keep my blood flowing. Thankfully, it isn't too long before I can see the silhouette of someone approaching through the storm. Oh, thank God.
That's gotta be her, right?
Given that we're the only people out here, I really hope so. Here she is! As the girl gets closer, she gets easier to see. She's not exactly an imposing figure, but she moves with purpose. She's carrying a large thermos, which she raises in greeting as she approaches. Oh, good sweater. It's a very good sweater. Very cute.
Sweater. Comfy.
I wave back. One of the first things I noticed about her is that for some ungodly reason, she's not wearing a coat. All she's got on to protect her from the frigid weather's what looks like a hand-knit sweater, much like Tara. Once she reaches the platform, she greets us with nothing more than a tired smile and a small nod. Not exactly the eking out Tara was expecting. Hey there, you two. Sorry I'm late. Her voice is friendly but flat. She sounds like she hasn't slept in days. Which fucking mood. I'm always so fucking tired.
Me too. I worked 12 hours today.
Jesus, yeah. I really hope you can get that sorted out soon.
I that is the plan.
Yeah.
I have less hours this week, which is good.
That's good, yeah. Tara looks a little bit taken aback by how subdued she is. Recovering quickly, she puts on her big celebrity grin.
Oh, no worries. Are you Morgan?
That's right. It's really nice to meet you, Tara. Morgan's smile does seem to grow warmer as she greets her, but her face quickly regains a neutral expression a moment later. I can see Tara's smile faltering as she realizes this is clearly the maximum amount of geeking out this girl is capable of. To her credit, she recovers well.
Likewise. Charmed, I'm sure.
Okay, maybe not that well. Tara extends her hand and Morgan gives her a brief handshake before turning to me. You're Madison, right? I think we spoke online already. Just Maddie's fine. Nice to meet you. She shakes my hand as well. It's a firm, friendly handshake that ends as quickly as it began. Before she continues, she takes another sip from her thermos. I find myself wishing for a cup of coffee too. It really is nice to meet the two of you. I'm sure you receive a lot of invitations, so I'm glad you were interested in mine. Thank you for the stretch. There. Sleepy beepy.
Wait. I have to stretch too.
Cutie.
Ooh, that's a good stretch. What? Alright, stretch complete.
Cutie. Are you kidding? Oh wait, no, that's your line, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Are you kidding? Remote village in the middle of a huge forest? There's no way I'd pass that up. I've heard all kinds of stories of the things you'll find in places like this.
Hopefully not too many, or I won't have anything new for you.
Oh, I'm sure you've got something I'll be interested in.
I wonder where Tara's looking at when she says that.
Yeah.
Real smooth, Tara. So much for being professional. I can see Morgan's mouth twitch slightly at the comment. I can only hope it was something closer to a smile than a grimace. Tomorrow, I can show you around the village. There isn't too much out of the ordinary there, but I'm sure you can find a few things that interest you. That would be wonderful. We can go sightseeing when Tara isn't off chasing spirits around in the woods. Morgan and I both smile. Tara flashes me a look of mock annoyance for the slight. But it's probably eating her up that I've got more of a reaction out of Morgan than she has. It's about a half-hour's carriage ride to the cabin, if you guys want to head out. Do you need help with your bags at all? Tara lifts her bags, giving Morgan another shiny grin. I'm pretty sure I see her accidentally flex her arms, too.
Oh, she's gay.
Oh, she's very gay.
I mean, yay, good, she's gay.
Yeah.
But also, like, oh no, she's being gay.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. I got this.
Actually, I am just realizing that we're probably not gonna get to a point where you're gonna have where you're gonna be able to voice too much beyond Tara, so I'll let you have a few more of the extra roles and such. Just because I'm doing the narration and such.
Can I do silly voices?
Of course.
Silly voices it is. Welcome to the stream of silly voices.
Yeah, if they've, like, got a name, they're probably a recurring character, but yeah.
Okay, because I got some fun voices, I think. If they're annoying, I apologize, but
it's alright,
that's what we signed up for.
Right. Okay, cool. This way. As we follow behind her, I can see Tara pouting behind her. I've never seen the wind get taken out of her sails like that. At least that gives her another thing to think about besides my departure. Wait a second. Did she say carriage?
No. Way.
We're standing in front of an honest-to-God horse-drawn carriage. If it weren't for the little white puffs of breath coming from the horses' noses, I'd be willing to believe that it was some sort of commemorative statue.
This is so cool. Is it yours?
It belongs to my family. Given that there aren't any roads through the woods, there isn't really a point to anyone out here owning a car. I move closer, examining the craftsmanship as best I can in the moonlight. The design is fairly bare bones, but a few flourishes here and there and some semi-ornate painted finishes make it clear that this was something built with love and care. Somehow, I'm the only one who seems intrigued by our ride. Tara, come take a look at this. As I speak, I look back and see her standing completely still, as if the cold has rooted her to the spot.
Give me a sec. I'm just taking in the view a bit from a distance.
She's trying to act nonchalant, but her wide eyes keep flicking towards the horses. Her previously genuine grin has turned into a very nervous grimace. Slowly inching forward, she scoots further away from the horses as she approaches the carriage. I doubt she planned for part of her first impression to be Morgan learning that she's absolutely terrified of horses. God, I fucking love, like, the layout of people here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's so good, yeah. You'd better at least learn to tolerate them, or this is gonna be an even longer trip than I expected. Wait. If this is the only way through the woods, how are we gonna get back and forth between the cabin and the village? Don't tell me we'll have our own carriage. Neither of us can drive one. Oh, I'm going to be driving you. I can take you back and forth. help you navigate the woods. You didn't expect me to just let you wander around a forest in the middle of nowhere without a guide, did you? Tara, still slowly making her way towards the carriage, does her best to give me a look of excitement. If anything, it resembles the look of panicked hostage. The fact that she's still trying to play it cool is almost admirable in its futility. You're sure that's not any trouble? I'd hate to convenience you any more than we already have. It's no trouble. I run my own shop, so my schedule is pretty flexible. I'm more than happy to help. He looks over at Tara, who has finally made it within a few feet of the carriage. She shoots us both a thumbs up. I have a feeling she might need it. Trust me, you have no idea. Morgan turns and deftly swings up into her seat, taking hold of the reins. Tara finally manages to place her hands on the carriage and climb up to sit alongside her, shaking all the way. I let out a sigh of relief and follow suit, mounting up next to Tara. It's a little cramped up here, but I'd feel weird just sitting by myself. Besides, not keeping an eye on Tara is a pretty guaranteed way to make an even worse first impression.
So, can you do any tricks in this thing? Do a flip.
Path to the cabin turns out to be a complicated one. We've been making twists and turns through the trees for a few minutes, but Morgan seems to know exactly where she's going. Not even the dark can stand in her way. You can navigate through all this with just that little lantern? How can you see landmarks? Don't worry. I know these woods better than just about anything. Besides, the moonlight is more than enough for me. I can't help but feel embarrassed about all the times I had to use the flashlight on my phone just to find something I dropped in the car. I definitely wouldn't last out here. Looking over, I can see Tara bouncing her leg, probably about to launch into a torrent of questions for Morgan. After that flubbed introduction, she's clearly a little less gung-ho than usual, but I know that won't stop her. As such, I should probably get my handling of the actual adult stuff out of the way quickly before it gets lost in the noise. Is there anything about the town or people that we should know? Local customs, thing to avoid, saying, that sort of thing. Morgan thinks about it for a moment, silent. There's a curfew at midnight. Also, you're not supposed to go too far into the forest. I ignore both of those rules a lot. Most of the villagers tend to be sticklers about them, though. Great. Your host is a troublemaker. I guess that means Tara will be in good company.
Do crime, be gay.
Yep.
So while we're on our way, could you maybe tell us some of the specific supernatural occurrences you've seen here so far?
Here she goes. Morgan sits up with the question. She looks over toward us, and her eyes seem to lose a bit of their constant drowsiness. She's been waiting for this. Well, we have a lot of freak weather events. Strange storms that appear and disappear, or are localized to certain parts of the forest in ways that shouldn't be possible. Tara nods solemnly, already totally enraptured in what Morgan is saying. Sometimes, when I walk in the woods, I can see strange lights here and there. like tiny little stars inside the forest. I've never been able to get close to them, though. I raise an eyebrow, but don't say anything. We've had countless cases of strange lights before, all of which have ended with a rational explanation. That doesn't seem to damper Terra's spirits, though. I start to drift off. This is more Terra's jurisdiction anyway, so I'm sure they can just wake me up when we get there. There's also my cat.
Your cat is a supernatural occurrence?
She can talk, so I'd say so. Her words snap me out of my trance. Looking over at her, I expect to see her holding in a laugh or sporting some kind of mischievous grin, but her face is as serious as it's been since we arrived. I'm a supernatural occurrence. Cute.
Your cat can talk? Like, talk the way a human does?
Yes, she's very well spoken, in fact. I try to hide a sigh. Weird weather and lights in the woods are ambiguous enough that we can play along well with them. But every so often we get these blatantly fake claims too, like a talking cat. Terra, however, instantly perks up once her words sink in. You can't actually believe her, right?
So, could we talk to her? She won't mind if I ask her a few questions, right?
A talking cat? Yeah.
Whoa.
I was hoping you'd ask. I think you'll be very interested in what she has to say. The whole thing is clearly some kind of joke, but Terra is absolutely taken in. I can practically see the wheels turning in her head as she plans out her follow-up question. That's never good.
It's gonna be a cat girl. That's it. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I mean,
I welcome it.
I mean, Terra's a cat girl already, so...
Yeah, I know, right? So, awesome. So, do you have any ideas about what could be causing it? Something in her diet, maybe?
I don't think so.
Have you been feeding her some kind of special Eisenfeld cat food? Can I try some?
Terra, no. Terra, no.
No, do not
Put
eat
it
the
down.
cat food. Don't eat the cat food.
Okay, I think that's enough of that. When Terra starts talking about eating cat food, it's time for me to exercise a little diplomacy and move the conversation forward. Horses are the natural predator of cats. Crazy or not, I think we should move on. So, what kind of things does she talk to you about? Just about our lives, for the most part. I figured you'd be better off hearing it from her rather than me. I'm sure that'll be illuminating.
I'll say, if there's something that paranormal in the village itself, you must have seen way crazier stuff in these woods.
She starts to gesture as she talks, pointing back towards the village and swinging her arms around as she mentions the woods. Well, there's one pretty major thing, but you probably won't believe.
I wouldn't have come here if I didn't believe you. Anything you want to say, I want to hear.
I can't detect a hint of cynicism in her voice. Either she really believes this girl she just met has a talking cat, or she's giving a performance worthy of an Oscar. Are you sure?
110%. Lay it on me.
She winks at her and flashes her finger guns, back in celebrity mode. Tara's good at recovery with these things, but I've never seen her recover on this level with such speed. But as I watch her lean in towards Morgan to make sure she catches her next statement, I realize another possible reason for her passionate response.
Oh. I mean, yes, but no.
If there's one thing she loves more than hearing strange stories, it's trying to impress a cute girl. Now things are starting to fall into place a bit more. Oh, yeah, it is cute.
Who let her be such a lesbian?
Well, one of the main reasons I called you out here is I'm not sure if it has a name, but it's some kind of forest spirit.
Spirit? Like a ghost or something?
Oh, are you making else? No, something physical. Some sort of massive creature, like the forest came to life. Okay, this is new. Even the crazier fans don't get this outlandish. But Tara is absolutely eating it up. No matter what her reasoning is, I'm glad she's having a good time.
Is there anything else you can tell me about? Does it speak or anything? Have you managed to interact with it at all? Is it more kaiju sized or more basketball player sized?
You need cooler fans then.
Yep.
I've only seen it once, unfortunately, so I don't know too much about it. I've searched for it a number of times since, but without any results. Who knows? Maybe you two will have better luck than I have. That's what you're best at, isn't it?
In terms of talents, I'd say it's certainly up there.
Morgan's mouth turns up into a small but seemingly genuine smile, and her expression grows slightly less intimidating. Oh, she's so fucking cute. Look at her. Look at her.
Very, yes.
Immensely cute. Very, very
sleepy
cute.
Smile.
Yeah.
The sleepy smile.
Yeah. I knew you'd believe me. Nobody else around here does.
Oh.
I can't imagine why.
Precious.
Yeah. Maddie.
Look, Maddie.
Mads, shut up. Yeah, I love these bells. Yeah. This song is
Maddie.
really good.
Maddie is a hater.
Yeah.
Maddie can stop disrespecting.
Yeah. It's gorgeous, yeah. The music in this is really good. Y'all should get, like, the soundtrack. It's on Steam. It's so good. I feel a pang of guilt as that thought crosses my mind. As crazy as her story sounds, it can't possibly be easy feeling rejected in a community this isolated. No wonder she was so eager to bring us into the fold. So, how far away would you say we are from the cabin? We should be coming up on it any minute now. I'll help the two of you get situated and then head back. I'll be happy to tell you more about the spirit tomorrow. Thank God. Oh, yeah, great. That's great. I'm exhausted. That much isn't a lie. All I want to do right now is pass out. We've passed the last of the houses that I can see, but the sparsely marked path continues on towards the forest. The last traces of civilization are behind us now. By any minute now, what exactly did you mean? I can't keep the biting tone entirely out of my voice.
Maddie, whoa.
Yeah, Maddie, chill. Just ahead. See? He points forward into the darkness. I strain my eyes to see anything other than murk. Finally, I spot the faint outline of a small cabin practically swallowed by forest. I started the heater before I left to get you, so it should be warm.
That's what I like to hear. You're like Prometheus.
I'm surprised you know who that is.
Why? I love that movie.
Oh my god. He's talking about
Dumbass.
Prometheus, the Alien prequel. Jesus Christ.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
Prometheus, I don't know. It's still cute. Cute regardless.
Yeah. Morgan suddenly jerks the reins and the horses come to a stop. Tara and I are rattled from our seats and nearly fall forward. Damn it. What? What happened? Rather than answer, Morgan just glares into the darkness where the cabin is. I strain to see what she does as my heart starts to race. Is it a wild animal? A bear? Wolf? There's the sound of footsteps as a shadow detaches itself from the cabin and moves towards us. A human shadow. An older woman comes into view, stopping just at the edge of the lantern's light. You'll voice her, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, hello, Speepy Beans. Good to see you. She's clearly related to Morgan. Her angular features and steely eyes, barely visible in the dark, make her look like she stepped out of a Baroque painting. Why are you here?
I came to greet our guests.
She spits out the word "our," clearly asserting some sort of ownership. I suck in an involuntary breath as she approaches. Being able to see her more clearly isn't a reassurance. If anything, it's the opposite. Something about her radiates hostility. Even the horses seem uncomfortable, their ears pressed back as they stamp their feet in the snow. Up close, her gaze is sharp and fierce. Her face is proud but sunken, her cheekbones jutting as if her face doesn't quite fit. It makes her look older than she is.
Which one of you is Tara?
Mouth drawn thin, she looks from me, Tara, and then back again. Each second that passes makes the discomfort grow. I keep waiting for Morgan to intervene, but she doesn't. Tara and I exchange a quick, nervous glance. Then she clears her throat and leans forward, offering a handshake.
That's me.
The woman regards Tara's outstretched hand for a moment and ignores it.
Welcome to Eisenfield. Oh, my name is Evelyn, the mayor. Who are you?
Her attention flicks to me like a hand on a clock. I'm Madison, Tara's manager.
I see.
It's clear that she's judging us, though I have no idea on what. Are you done yet? They're tired. You can interrogate them later. Just what exactly is she volunteering us for? Interrogate is kind of a strong word. Our host makes absolutely no effort to disguise the loathing in her voice. In a town as small as this one, I can't imagine that speaking to someone as important as the mayor like that is a good idea. Though Evelyn appears entirely unfazed. She remains in the middle of the trail, blocking our path. She and Morgan stare each other down while Tara and I sit in painfully uncomfortable silence. After at least a minute, the mayor finally steps out of the way and heads back up the way we came.
We'll speak later.
It's clearly a command, not a request. The carriage sits immobile until the sound of Evelyn's footsteps are lost to the night. And even beyond that.
So, she seems nice?
Her statement seems to snap Morgan back into the present. Morgan flicks the reins and we begin moving again. She turns around to face us, looking genuinely apologetic. I'm so sorry about that. I thought she'd at least wait until tomorrow, and I'd have some time to prepare you beforehand. Is she your mom? Technically.
What? No way. How could you tell?
The family resemblance. Morgan purses her lips. Unfortunate, isn't it? Long story short, I didn't tell you that you were going to be staying here until this morning. What?
I mean, it's valid to be a little weird about that, but, like, still, like, it's two people. You live in a cabin.
I'm speechless, hoping that it's just a joke and the punchline fell flat. But Morgan's clearly serious. For the second time in a handful of minutes, I'm wondering what we've gotten ourselves into. Tara laughs, though I can tell it's forced.
Well, that's no big deal, right? It's not like she runs your life.
Silent.
Right?
Eventually, Morgan nods. Right. We shouldn't get into it right now, though. I'm sure you'd rather sleep tonight. Oh my god, I just had the fucking brainwave of, like, the fucking Anakin and Padme meme with Tara and Morgan right there.
Oh no. Wait, which one?
The fucking, like... Yeah. She doesn't run your life,
that
right?
one.
She doesn't run your life, right? I've got to make that later, fuck. Ellen, how are you? Hello, Zero Risk. Good to see ya.
Oh, wait. Oh, I updated my audio a little bit so it wouldn't, like, beep a lot when I'm not talking. Is it better? Or
yeah, a lot better. Thank you.
Okay, thank goodness. I was worried because I have a crappy mic. It's a headphone mic. I really should get something better.
Your audio's been great all night, actually.
That's good. I worry that I sound like I'm coming in through the phone. That's not what I want to sound like.
No.
Right. I'm a robot, but, like, I want to sound like a well-audioed robot.
Yeah. Right. We shouldn't get into it right now, though. I'm sure you'd rather sleep tonight. I can see Tara gathering the breath to disagree and tell Morgan that we'd love to hear all about her family issues right now, so I head her off. Yeah, we would. Whatever family drama it is that she's gotten us involved in, I can at least wait until I'm not about to pass out. The carriage comes to a stop just a few feet away from the door. A small stone path has the snow cleared away from it and leads to a short flight of stairs. We're facing a large window, although it's dark and impossible to see into. Sure. Morgan vaults out of the carriage, nimbly landing on her feet. I'll unlock the door. Her luggage already came in too, so it's inside. Hera launches herself out of the carriage just like Morgan did, and then she quickly scurries away from the patient horses, eyeing them for any sudden movements. I climb down as she stands an extremely safe distance away.
Have a good Gamepedia. Good night.
Yeah, see you, Gamepedia. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the Read Lemon. Everyone else enjoys the bedtime story. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
Hydration for the hydration dog.
And posture check and stretch.
Okay. I guess I need to take care of myself. Dang.
Yeah, babe. Take the fuck care of yourself.
Well, that's a foreign concept to me.
Take the fuck care of yourself.
Well, I don't wanna. I wanna disintegrate into a mass of goo.
I will make you take the fuck care of yourself.
Okay, can I still be a mass of goo, please?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for giving me options.
You're adorable.
Oh, ew.
I can't carry all this on my own, you know. I toss her bag and she lurches to catch it, barely keeping it from landing in the snow. We stand back and watch as Morgan fiddles endlessly with the lock on the door, pushing and trying again over and over. Now that we're so close to the end, I can feel the last of my reserves of energy rapidly draining. Bags in my arms feel like they weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
So, what do you think?
She mutters as quietly as she can, though her timing couldn't be worse. I think I want to go to bed.
Same as ever, then.
You know me. Rubbing my arms, I peer into the forest. Just beyond the first few lines of trees, everything fades into an inky blackness, thick and impenetrable. I shiver, not entirely because of the cold. A cool breeze rattles the empty branches as they scrape against each other, mimicking the way I'm trying to stay warm. Finally, there's a banging sound as Morgan solves the mystery of the lock and nearly falls through the door. She pokes her head back through like nothing happened. God, the fucking peak is great.
Are you doing anything? You wearing socks?
I got it open. Hallelujah. I haul my way inside and into the blessed warmth. Been so long since we've been near a working heater.
Oh, it's comfy in there.
Yeah, oh, it's such a comfy vibe.
Wood fittings on everything.
Yeah. A small lamp on the side table casts a bit of light over the small room. Our luggage, as promised, is gathered haphazardly around the living room, just like home. Hera slips past me to bounce around and examine it all, her bags hurled as carelessly as I pulled them out of the carriage.
Oh my god.
Oh, hello, Psycho! Wonderful to see you!
Boop. Boop, she back. Holy shit! This is so cool!
There's nothing really out of the ordinary, so I just stand there and wait for her to get it all out of her system.
Isn't this the coolest? It's like staying in a history museum.
That's the kind of thing you'd usually treat like a punishment.
Are you kidding me? I love history. And we did that whole series on the history of cryptids in the American Midwest.
Oh, more food.
And I spent like 3 months on that special about Bigfoot's impact on the Great Depression.
That's one of my favorite episodes. I had never heard of the theory that FDR was a cousin of Sasquatch.
To be fair, I don't think FDR did either.
Okay then.
Say hello to Ava
I missed
for
it.
me.
Morgan laughs and I just roll my eyes. I mean the kind of history that actually happened.
History is doomed to repeat itself, Mads.
I don't even respond. That whole episode felt like the plot of an awful low-budget B-movie. Instead, I crossed the living area towards a tiny hallway with a pair of identical doors. These are the bedrooms? That's right. They're about the same size, so there's not much of a difference. Guess I'll take this one then. I push open the closer door. Inside, it's just 4 walls with a bed, a shelf, and a small dresser. I drop my bag on the floor and roll my suitcases in. Kara lingers in the living room, talking about the features of the cabin with Morgan. Suddenly, I hear her yelp in pain or horror. I rush back out, knocking over my suitcase and nearly slamming into the door as I go. Oh shit. I half expected to see Morgan holding a bloody knife or something, but instead Tara's just holding her phone. What happened?
A tragedy. Actually, worse. The apocalypse. Check out your phone.
I do as she says, expecting a news article or an alert or something. But there's nothing. What? I don't have anything.
Exactly. No service out here.
God damn, Tara, you fucking melodramatic lesbian.
I'm the same way though.
Mood. Yeah, just like
we're all nerds. We don't know how to handle not having internet access.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of Tara. She's the same as all of us.
I check. Sure enough, she's right. There isn't the barest trace of a signal at all. What about Wi-Fi? I assume we have that, right? Technically. Oh no, it's dial-up, isn't it? Oh no.
Oh no.
Stocked up on books and downloaded a bunch of new films before we left. Of course she calls them fucking films.
Ugh.
Since I wasn't
I don't watch movies. I watch films.
Since I wasn't expecting to have much connection out here anyway. But I'm willing to bet the thought never even crossed Tara's mind. Good thing I packed a few books I think she'll like too. Tara glumly pockets her phone again as Morgan gives us a small smile. Let me give you the quick tour. I don't think it's entirely necessary since we can see everything ourselves, but I don't stop her. This is the kitchen. There's a stove and an oven. The stove is somewhat picky and doesn't always like to work. Actually, I guess it's the same for the oven.
I don't know. I don't know how to cook anyway.
Thanks, Tara. Over here's the fireplace. I can show you how to chop firewood sometime if you'd like. I think I might pass on that one. This is the couch. You can also sleep on it if you'd like. It doesn't unfold into a bed or anything, but I sometimes come here and sleep on it anyway. That doesn't even surprise me. The Wi-Fi password is on a note by the phone. It was my phone number, so you can reach me anytime. Do you have any questions? I shake my head and look at Tara, who does the same.
I think we're good. Thanks for all your help tonight, Morgan.
It was my pleasure. Again, I can't thank you enough for coming all the way out here. I'll be sure to make it worth your time.
I'm sure. Can't wait to get started.
Me either, but I should probably be going for tonight. I've kept you up long enough as it is. She heads out of the front door, waving goodbye.
Night, Morgan. Thanks again.
Good night. Through the large window, we can see as she starts to make her way down the path. I'm gonna head to bed too. Yeah, by the way, for folks watching, I should make it clear, we are not going through the entirety of Part of the Woods tonight. It's like an 8-hour game if you're not reading it all. And it's like a 12-hour game streaming it, so yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm happy to finish another time.
I'm gonna go to bed too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
I keep mixing up those words.
Yeah.
We switch off the lamp as we head to our respective rooms. Tara grabs her bags from the floor where she tossed them.
Alright. See you in the morning then?
Yeah. Night. I shut the door behind me, and she does the same. I sway like a zombie as I stalk towards my bed. It takes the last of my strength to dig my pajamas out of the suitcase and change. There's a window here that looks straight out into the forest. The first thing I do is pull the curtain shut. Crawling into bed, I face away from the window and pull the blanket up to my chin. It's heavy and warm, and I wrap it around myself like a burrito. Bed is firmer than I'm used to, and the pillow thinner. There are like 3 other blankets, though, so I ball one of them up and use it as a second pillow. As I try to get comfortable, my thoughts start to drift off. A detached part of me is glad that the timing worked out well enough to avoid jet lag. And in all, aside from the Wi-Fi, this is pretty nice as far as accommodations go, especially since we're not paying for it. Seems strange that Morgan would come all the way out here just to take naps sometimes, but I can already tell that most of what Morgan does would be considered strange.
Leave her alone, Madison. Jeez.
Yeah. Strange but harmless, I don't mind, but when I think of her mother, the mayor, a chill runs down my spine, and I bundle myself even more tightly in the blanket. I should give her a second chance, though, especially if she didn't have any warning about our arrival. It stands to reason that she'd be annoyed at Morgan renting out her family's cabin like that. Fuck renters. Yeah, like, fuck rent seekers, fuck landlords.
Fuck them.
When I think of it that way, her reaction seems pretty justified. I'll just be extra polite to her the next time we meet. Hopefully it isn't an interrogation like Morgan said. That was probably just her being dramatic. Yawn. Yawn, wishing sleep would come faster. I expected to be out before my head even hit the pillow, not lying here with my thoughts racing. I try to block out everything and focus on my breathing. In. Out. In. A loud tap 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 on the window cuts through the silence. My heart leaps to my throat as I bolt upright in bed. Oh God, who would that be? What would that be?
Uh-oh.
I get tangled on the blankets, scrambling to haul them off me. With one hand, I desperately feel for my glasses nearby. I finally find them and shove them onto my face, nearly jabbing my eye out. With horror, I look to the window, the one that made me uncomfortable from the start. It's Morgan. Lantern in hand, fist raised against the glass. She stands there patiently. If she knows what kind of emotional roller coaster she just put me through, she doesn't show it. Let me check options. Yeah, I do have, like, okay. Just double checking, like, I could have sworn there was, like, a different text box look previously, but it doesn't really matter. If she knows what kind of emotional roller coaster she just put me through, she doesn't show it. Shakily, I walk over to the window, not even switching on the lamp. With some difficulty, I wrench it open, disturbing a small mound of snow. Yes? It's the best I can manage. Anything longer, and I'm not sure I could keep it civil. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Please be ready to go by 8. I'll come pick you up. I just blink, unable to comprehend what I'm hearing. Is that okay? We could make it 8:30, but no later. No. 8 is fine. Is that all? That's right. Have a good night. Sorry if I disturbed you. I slam the window shut and hobble back to bed. Double back in the snow and scared the hell out of me for that? I check the time on my phone. It's nearly midnight. 8 hours to sleep and then be ready to go. It's gonna be a long month, isn't it? It's 8 hours and 34 minutes later. I know because telling time is my phone's only remaining function. Yet, I still check it constantly, like something might change. Ooh, bops!
Wop.
Wop! True to her word, Morgan was there to pick us up right at 8. It's a minor miracle that Kara and I were both ready to go. God, you're like, can you fucking imagine being up and ready to go at 8 fucking a.m.? Like,
I can.
Yeah, right, you have to because you're in hell.
I am in hell. Well, I live within the wage cage, and I shake the bars as if that will help.
Yeah, yeah, like, I don't wake up before noon most days.
I mean, I've had to. What was really bad was that. So normally we start at 8:30.
Yeah.
But because of extra setup, I should probably try and be there by 8, and that was the same as last week. It's okay. extra prep means just extra prep. But it's just an extra half hour. It's just an extra half hour to an already tired day.
Yeah, and you have to get up early to for transit and everything.
Yep. And then what's even better is that I have to go to an 8-hour shift after that.
Oh God, yeah. I really hope you can get that sorted out soon, hon.
That's the plan. I'm trying. I want more time for gay stuff.
Yeah.
More lesbian time. I want to fit more lesbian time into my life. I think I deserve that.
You do.
Also, maybe I can stream more, which would be nice.
Yeah. It's a minor miracle that Tara and I were both ready to go. I don't know who had it worse, me waking up to my alarm or Tara waking up to me banging on her door. Even now, she slowly eats a piece of bread from the kitchen, looking for all the world like a cow chewing cud. Fucking mood.
Yeah.
With each bump that the carriage hits, my tiny cup of coffee threatens to spill onto my hand. What the? Josh! Josh Kaplan. Head of Studio Elan and one of the two writers on this game. What is it with you and coffee spilling on people's hands? That's consistent throughout all the stuff. That's consistent throughout basically everything. All their games.
It's a signature. let them have a signature.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I'd feel it. After answering Morgan's perfunctory questions about our first night, we spend the rest of the ride in silence. She didn't acknowledge at all how she had knocked on my window. Apparently it wasn't remarkable enough to her to deserve another mention. I watch from over her shoulder now as we approach the town. From the train last night, the scattered lights made Eisenfeld to appear to be a lot larger than really it. Than it really is. Now, in the daylight, I have to strain my eyes to pick out some of the buildings against the hills and snow. Tara's missing it all, staring at her feet. Crumbs litter the floor beneath her. Tara, you good?
Sleepy. Yeah. No, she's sleepy.
Morgan guides us along a path that I'm pretty sure is the same one as last night. A few villagers move out of the way of our carriage, not even turning to look. It must be a regular occurrence. Even though it's hard for anyone to see us in here, I still feel self-conscious. I clutch the bag of camera gear tighter to my chest, hiding myself behind it. There aren't any other carriages on the road, nor anything bigger than a pushcart, so we still stand out, at least in my head. If the situation is at all awkward or out of the ordinary to Morgan, she doesn't show it. She pulls the reins and the carriage comes to a stop in the road. There aren't as many other people up here, but what few there are give us a wide berth. Here we are. Tara finally perks up, the words clearly spoken for her benefit. It takes her a moment to realize that we've made an entrance, but as soon as she does, she's in showbiz mode. She leaps to her feet, throwing off the exhaustion like a disguise. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention all the way. Okay. Here we are indeed.
She falls out of the carriage, spinning circles like we're in the middle of a grand plaza instead of the middle of a street. I climb out more carefully and then scurry out of the way.
Okay. This rules.
It really does feel like we've traveled back in time. The buildings, all built from wood and stone, look like they've been there for centuries. The road that we're on and currently blocking is made out of cobblestone. It winds its way through the town despite being covered in well-tamped snow. We're certainly a long way from home. Morgan doesn't disembark from the carriage and instead calls down to us. The town square is right down this road, but if I take you there, I won't be able to turn the carriage around. It's always a pain when that happens. I'm going to open up my shop, but feel free to come by whenever you'd like. I'm sorry I can't show you around right now, but I'll make it up to you later. Where's your shop? Oh, right. She pulls a piece of paper from somewhere and dangles it towards me. I cross the road and take it from her. Unfolding it, I can see that it's a map. Despite being hand-drawn, it's pretty coherent and legible. Certain buildings, like Morgan's shop and the local pub, are denoted by handwritten tags. At the middle of the road where we're currently standing, she's even drawn in a helpful "You're Here" notice with a smiley face. She clearly planned this well in advance. Cool, thanks. Feel free to stop by around lunch. I'll make you both something.
Hell yeah. You're the best, Morgan.
You're the best, Abby.
Whoa.
Thanks. Morgan gives us a brief wave before heading off to wherever it is you park horse-drawn carriages. I point in the direction of the town square that Morgan mentioned, wanting to get away from all the people who are currently gawking at us. We definitely stick out, if only because of our colorful hair and clothes. Combined, their outfits have the color palette of a bowl of oatmeal. Although they stare, nobody really says anything, either too polite or too intimidated. Both Tara and I avoid eye contact with strangers as we hurry to the empty town square. Well, that couldn't have gone worse.
Sorry, I have,
Alright.
Hold on, hopefully... Okay, it's good. It's gone. There was a siren. Sorry.
You're okay.
Okay. There are a million ways that could have gone worse. If people looking at us funny is the only downside of this trip, then it'll be our best episode yet. I mean, ever.
I wish she'd stop bringing that up. It always kills the mood, which was barely on life support to begin with. Tara rubs her shoulders, having stubbornly chosen not to dress any warmer today.
Okay, ready to get your paranormal on, Mads?
I shrug my camera bag to my shoulder and nod. I suppose there's no harm in spending a little time establishing the location. Might as well get some B-roll while we're here. One thing that both Tara and I have in common is that we're not really sightseers. I spend as much time in my room as I can, whether that's the hotel room while we're filming or my bedroom at home. So, as much Tara loves investigations and all the dramatic... as much Tara loves investigations and all the dramatic stuff, I'd probably totally skip the exposition segments if she didn't leave them to me. That means we're pretty efficient at filming them. I turn on the camera and slowly turn a circle, capturing the ground, sky, and some nearby buildings for footage that we can splice together later. I do a slow pan across some of the houses, then frame and hold the shot of the path further into the village. A young couple passes by, holding hands, and they share a suspicious look at the camera as they go by. Guess I'm editing that part out later. Most of the time, Making Paranormals is just me finding ways to stretch 10 seconds of interesting footage into a 10-minute video. That's something else we're both good at. The cold wind makes it hard to keep a steady grip, so I stow the camera and shove my hands into my pocket.
Get anything cool?
Unable to browse on her phone like she usually does while waiting, instead Tara watches from over my shoulder as I record. Not really. There's not much to see here.
Yeah, it's kind of less impressive up close.
It's the kind of place that you'd expect a tumbleweed to blow through, like, if the climate fit.
Wow, you're turning into quite the poet.
Oh, shut up.
What? It was a compliment. Anyways, since filming the village is a dud right now, we should follow up one of the rumors Morgan was talking about the other night. I'm thinking giant tree spirit.
That's the most interesting one she talked about for sure. That's the headliner. We need to build up to that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Picture this. We head to the woods to get some creepy shots. Do it right around sundown. Make it super ambient. Lots of atmosphere. Wind sounds. Maybe a wolf howl. You've got a good wolf sound effect we could use, right?
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, I do a narration over all that, introducing where we are, what we're out here looking for. Then we get a sound of a big branch snapping and just cut the video right there.
Tara looks pleased with herself and glances back at me for approval. It takes me a minute to react. So, end the video on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, I think so. We can definitely stretch the Eisenfeld stuff into a miniseries or something. We should be able to get at least 3 episodes worth of stuff out here.
That sounds fine. Snapping branch is a pretty weak way to end it, though. Especially since, like, we uploaded the video. Nobody's gonna wonder if we're okay or not.
Oh, that's true. So you think maybe we should just make one long vid, or end it differently?
Maybe a different ending. I'll think of something later.
Cool. You're the best, man.
I smile, but it hurts a little. I'm sure she's not trying to make me feel bad. She probably doesn't even know that I do. I just shrug, wanting to change the subject. We can also follow up on some of the smaller rumors. Like, in her email, she mentioned mysterious lights out in the forest.
Like a will-o-wisp. Aren't those, like, actually real?
You're the expert. You should know that, not me. Tara stares at me expectantly. Yes, they're real, but they're just swamp gas. Doesn't matter though, because we need to wait for nighttime for that stuff. It's not very spooky during the daytime.
In that case, we definitely want to talk to the locals. See what kind of rumors they've heard, that kind of thing.
Right. That's definitely the smart thing to do. We both face back towards the street we came down, where Morgan dropped us off with all those nosy people who just stared at us but wouldn't talk. Awkwardly.
Or we could get some more establishing shots from other parts of the village.
I like that idea. We pick a direction at random and start walking. As we head further into town, it starts to get more lively, and there are more people around. That might just be the time of day, though. A couple folks shovel snow in front of their homes. A group of kids run up and down the street, accompanied by a sagging basset hound. A woman wearing what appears to be an entire bear fur coat shuffles past us. Wherever we go, the villagers watch us unabashedly. No one makes any attempt to talk to us, and conversations fall silent whenever we come near. I wonder if there was some sort of order given to not speak with us, or if it just happens naturally. I try to force myself to ignore it. We're not doing anything wrong, we're just a curiosity. The only interesting thing about us is our out-of-townness. Morgan said that there are rarely ever visitors out here. Not hard to imagine why. Doesn't seem to be much worth visiting. Still, if they're gonna keep this up, it's gonna make those interviews even harder to do. Tara taps me on the shoulder, nodding in the direction of some of our observers.
Is it just me, or is there kind of a creepy serial killer vibe going on here?
Oh my god, can you not?
Hey, I'm just kidding. Just trying to lighten the mood a bit.
My reaction having ruined any chance at that, neither of us speak again. I unpack the camera again and film a few of the storefronts as we go. As long as I'm surreptitious enough, most people don't notice and thus don't change their behavior. Inevitably, whenever someone does see me filming, they tense up and just stare, ruining the take. It's like they've never seen a camera before. Maybe that's not far from the truth. One thing I have to give to Eisenfeld's credit is that there's more personality in its construction than I thought at first. Most of the buildings seem to be people's homes, but it doesn't take us long to find a few stores here and there. Names are simple and plain, like you'd read in a tabletop book. Boop. Thank you for the boop, Psycho. Heinkel & Sons Tailoring. A butcher shop named the Hardy Sow. That sort of thing. When we pass by a tavern called the Bushy Beard, I hear Tara snickering behind me.
Do you think they have barmaids?
What?
Like the sexy Oktoberfest hunt. Do you think they have those here?
Tara, you fucking lesbian.
Absolute lesbian. Can we get a lesbian in a chat?
Tara's words are so out of nowhere that they take me a second to mentally process. This isn't a Renaissance fair, Tara. I'm pretty sure they just wear normal clothes to work. Tara's mouth gapes wide open.
Wait, what? Back up. Ren fairs have sexy barmaids?
Where else did you think they come from?
I have no idea. I always just thought these things were just full of boring stuff.
What? Not at all. They have swordplay demonstrations or time period appropriate foods. Some local experts will give talks or lectures on certain topics and...
Like I said, boring stuff.
Tara? Swordplay demonstrations. Are you calling those boring?
She's not a sword lesbian. She's more of a mace lesbian.
She's absolutely a fucking sword lesbian.
I don't know. Well, okay. In a different setting, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think she goes out of her way for the sword.
Fair, yeah. Whatever. There's more to it than just cosplay. I bet you like it. I bet you'd like it actually... words! I bet you'd actually like it if you went with me next time. Plus, I thought you loved history now.
That's a boring kind of history. Duh.
How are swords boring? See? Maddie agrees with me here.
Fair. Whatever, Mads.
She walks away. How did I manage to lose an argument she started?
Charisma.
We cut a slow but steady course through the village. Despite how random the layout seems, it's impossible to get lost. All the roads seem to lead back into each other. Oh, right. Psycho, I just remembered there is something I've got to send you. Let me just do that. Just a second.
How's everybody doing? Is their audio okay? Oh, hey!
Oh, wow! Hello, Jasper's ENVT. Thank you very much for the raid. I really appreciate it. For all of y'all joining in, my name is Lemma. I'm a robot VTuber who both makes and plays games on stream. Hope you're having a good time. I'm here with my wonderful, cute, amazing girlfriend, Abby. One of multiple, as y'all know, because stuff happened last night. But yeah, good to have you here. We are playing Heart of the Woods, a very good Yuri visual novel that I enjoy a lot, and Abby's reading for the first time. Oh yeah.
Lesbians.
Very lesbian. Despite how random the layout seems, it's possible to get lost. All the roads seem to lead back into each other. I'm so used to the sounds of busy intersections and highways that the mere silence here is almost unnerving. I can appreciate the serenity and calm of it all, but I think I'd go crazy if I had to live here. Yeah, we're not even a full day in, and I can't help but miss my cozy apartment and the convenience of city life. I just realized I forgot to do a raid message. RIP. Eventually, we take a path that brings us back to a familiar sight. The town square that we visited right after Morgan dropped us off. According to my phone, it's been a little bit over an hour since then. Still too early to meet up with Morgan for lunch. I guess we can't keep putting this off any longer. I think I have enough of the town now. Want to start interrogating the villagers?
Interviewing.
I didn't even notice myself misspeaking. I must still have interrogations on the mind after meeting the mayor last night. Blame my ADHD for that being in the bed, so I hope you have a nice rest of the stream. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, get some rest.
Sleep tight. Sleep is good for you.
Yeah.
Not for me. Sleep isn't good for me. No sleep.
Sleep is... Abby? Sleep is good for you. Take the fuck care of yourself.
But it's hard. Oh boy. Ouch, that was a really hard voice crack. I apologize.
Right, it's okay, yeah. Abby, sleep, yeah. Abby will be going to sleep once we're done. Don't worry. I'll make sure of it.
Don't hit me with the sleep stick. No, please.
It's important, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tara poses dramatically, hyping herself up for the camera. I'm not even recording yet, but all of Tara's like arm movements and such are such a mood. She's got like 6 different poses, if I recall.
She has protagonist arms.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
Oh, it's hydration for the hydrate gods.
Now I said good night. I'm not even recording yet. Time to put my game face on.
Whoa, you stole my lines.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just being silly.
Yeah, it's... Alright, you can do it, actually.
Time to put my game face on.
As long as it's a game face that people want to talk to.
Mads, what have I been anything but charming?
She sighs.
Yeah, I know. I'll keep it chill for these so we don't freak anyone out. But, like, how do we do this? Just go up to people and ask if we can chat?
I guess. I don't have any better ideas. This is how we usually do it. Except, usually, people are more curious about who we are and what we're doing. Sometimes, after introducing ourselves, there are even people who've heard of us. That is definitely not the case out here. Hell, I won't be surprised if Morgan was the only person in this whole village that uses YouTube. The only thing more awkward than just asking random people for an interview is them staring silently while you approach, but we don't have any other options. I hand the mic to Tara. At least I'm not the one who has to do the talking. Tara stands there with the mic in hand. And stands there. You good?
Yeah, I am. Just give me a sec, okay?
Okay. She psychs herself up by stretching and taking a few deep breaths. The whole time, she holds the mic pinched between two fingers like it's something she just peeled off her shoe. Once she's finally ready, she gives me a thumbs up and starts to walk again. I trail a couple of meters behind, keeping her back framed in the middle of the shot. She moves with a determined stride, but I can see the microphone shaking in her hand. We pass by a few people walking around, but she doesn't stop any of them. Nor does she ask any of the folks outside the buildings, chatting or working or just sitting and looking bored. Just up ahead, a middle-aged woman smokes a cigarette, looking at nothing and no one in particular. Doesn't look like she's going anywhere, and she's not already in the middle of a conversation. She's the perfect candidate, and Tara must, know it too. I wait for her to go up and introduce herself. I stand still and hit the record button, filming her approach. Except she doesn't. She walks right past the lady, whose gaze follows as she goes. I pause the recording and hurry to catch up, hissing Tara's name. I have to say it twice before she hears me and stops. Abby?
Sorry, I forgot my mic was muted. What's up?
What are you waiting for? That's like a dozen people now.
Right, but none of them are the right one.
Which one is the right one?
You know, it's impossible to tell. I'll know when I see them.
I roll my eyes, but I don't chastise her. She's trying her best.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Get ready.
I follow her line of sight to figure out her prey, an older man resting on a bench nearby.
Yes.
Broad-shouldered and with a long beard, he looks like a stereotype of a lumberjack. Like the previous woman, he stares vapidly off in the distance, thoughts clearly elsewhere. Once again, I plant my feet and set up the shot. I make micro-adjustments to the focus until I get it just right. The rest is up to Tara. Slowly, Tara approaches the man. Either he doesn't see her coming, or he ignores her. She glances at me for reassurance, which I give in the form of a smile and a nudging motion, telling her to get on with it. She clears her throat, grabbing the man's attention. He turns to her slowly and eyes her suspiciously. Then he notices me in the camera, and he tenses up. Not off to a good start. Tara talks quickly, trying to explain the situation.
Hi there. My name's Tara Brick. My friend Maddie and I are in town doing for Eisenfeld. I was wondering if we could ask you a few questions.
You can take this one.
Report? What kind of report?
And here's the point where you can do funny voices for characters.
Oh, is my cowboy voice not fun?
Oh, I think you might have just cut out a bit. Whoops.
Oh, that's fair. Am I still cutting out right now?
Not right now. No, you're good.
Okay. I guess report. What kind of report?
He relaxes just a little bit. The man rubs his eyes warily, peering back and forth between me and Tara. I wish he'd stop looking directly into the camera. I slowly start to move laterally, trying to frame the two of them better, but he keeps shifting on the bench to watch me.
It's an investigation on the supernatural. Rumors, ghost stories, that sort of thing. We've heard a lot of legends about Eisenfeld, and we're looking into them, trying to figure out what's true and what isn't. Figure out the truth, huh?
The man mutters darkly, his beetle-browed eyes still flipping between me and Tara. He chews his lip while he thinks about it. Something about his face strikes me as odd, but I can't figure out what it is. It's probably just a trick of the camera or the light.
Alright, I suppose I've got the time.
Takes Tara a beat to respond. We're both sure that he was going to tell us to bug off, or worse.
Great, thank you. So, can you tell me about Eisenfeld? Just what is life like here on an average day? That sort of thing?
Clearly, she didn't expect to get this far, and asks the first thing that comes to mind. She offers the man the mic, but he just stares uncomfortably until she retracts it.
Right, well, it's a good little town, good and proper. Quiet. Real quiet. That's what I like about it. None of that city business, no noise and bustle. Out here, it's just you and nature. That suits me just fine. So you're from around here then? Spent your life in Eisenfeld? Born and raised. God willing, I'll die out here too. Never thought of leaving, never had a reason to. Great, great. So then I imagine you know all about any local legends, right? About as well as anyone. Any old village has got its stories. If you believe them all, there's got them.
You're cutting.
What? Oh, hello?
Yeah. You just cut out.
Any old... Oh, perfect. Any old village has got its stories if you believe them. If you believe them all, there's goblins in the woods, trolls in the mountains, and who knows what else elsewhere. Of course, it's only children who believe in those. So you've never seen anything weird yourself? Nothing unexplainable? Weird like what?
By now, the man...
Sorry, I was getting else.
Okay. Yeah. By now, the man has abandoned looking at Tara entirely, and instead focuses on the camera, his eyes looking strangely focused.
One of our friends here mentioned something about a big forest spirit, like a walking tree kind of thing.
He sits up from his slouch, finally turning to face Tara.
What friend of yours might that be? She's from around here. One of the locals.
Even though we gave her a shout out on one of our videos, Tara's reluctant to name Morgan as our contact. It makes sense. Her neighbors surely feel different about us than our viewers do.
I'll bet it was that Fisher child, wasn't it? If you know what's best for you, you'll steer clear of her. Nothing but trouble comes from that one. Nothing at all. Wow.
Wow.
What a dick.
Yeah. Tara and I exchanged a glance. Seems her thoughtfulness was irrelevant. At the same time, I'm suddenly a lot more interested in what this guy has to say.
Well, you know what, Madison?
Madison, chill.
Why do you say that?
It feels like a strange violation of privacy to be asking this stranger his opinion of our host. But if she's notorious enough that anyone on the street knows of her, then perhaps we're better off knowing why. Spitting into the snow, our subject stands and turns his back to us.
There are some questions you ought not be asking us. I'll be going now. Enjoy yourselves.
He lumbers off into the town, though I don't watch him for very long. Questions we ought not be asking, huh? I'm not sure if that's a threat or not. For the sake of my anxiety, I try to tell myself it's not. I join Tara on the bench, doing my best to avoid the puddles of melted snow.
That was something.
That's putting it nicely. I don't know what that was either. Maybe Tara's right. It was something.
You get it all?
She taps 2 fingers against the camera in my hand. Of course. All 2 uncomfortable minutes.
I wasn't given a lot to work with there.
I replay the recording, with Tara leaning over to watch along with me. It's not any less awkward the second time through.
Well, we already knew we needed to talk to a few different people. Just got unlucky on the first one. Know what I mean?
Tara stands up, but I remain seated.
Still leaning there a minute?
I don't say anything. I'm trying to think of what to say.
Hello? Earth to Maddie? Please respond.
I'm thinking. My voice is too harsh and snappy, and we both know it. I play through the clip again, this time without Tara watching. Something still seems off to me, and it's not just the gruff way he left.
Look, we knew Morgan was a bit weird. All of our fans are weird. That's why we're our fans. In a tiny little town like this, of course, anyone who's different is going to have a reputation. That doesn't make Morgan a bad person.
I'm not saying she's a bad person. I didn't say anything. But, if you had to ask, I'm sitting here thinking that it's really frickin' shady that a guy just guessed we were here with Morgan, and then that he up and left as soon as he found out. That's not normal. That's not something that's happened to us before.
Great! That means we're on the right track. If they're hiding something, then that means there's something to hide.
Have you completely lost your mind? This is ridiculous, even for Tara. I can understand her wanting to give Morgan a chance, but actually buy into her nonsense? Tara nods and looks down at her feet, brushing some snow off her shoes.
It's only been a couple of hours, Matt. He's just one old, cranky geezer. Please, Please, just try to have some patience on this one, okay? For me?
I checked my watch. It hasn't even been 2 hours. That only makes her more right, as much as I hate to admit it. Sighing, I place my head in my hands. Sorry, I'm still tired.
It's okay.
After a long moment, I stand. Wanna find somebody else?
Guess we oughta.
We traipse wordlessly through the town a bit more. I keep the camera stowed. I'll set up when we find someone. Now that we've been burned once, I start to understand why Tara's so reluctant to speak to anyone. What once seemed like people tightening their clothes against the cold now seems more like turning their shoulders toward us. A suspicious number of folks look away from us to cough. The amount of times we pass by the same places certainly doesn't help our appearance. By now, there are a few especially chatty villagers that have seen us pass by at least 4 times. It takes another 15 minutes of looping around town before we find another candidate. A pair of girls about our age are waiting outside a shop. Yeah, inside, a third girl is talking to the shopkeeper. People our age are going to be our best bet. Well, I forgot to say I'm here. Been here for 20 minutes. Hello, Dragonfish and Fish. Good to see you.
Hey, this is my friend Beth. I actually know that.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Thank you for hopping by, Beth.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by. One of the waiting girls sips from a small mug of what I assume is coffee. She sees us and nods her head in greeting. That's the nicest reception we've gotten so far. No problem. Well, what about them?
Worth a try.
This time, I approach with Tara. I take the lead, but I follow close behind, forcing myself to smile in order to seem more approachable.
Excuse me?
The talking girl and shopkeeper turn towards us at the same time. The conversation snaps off immediately.
Excuse me? Hey there. Do you want me to do this one too?
Yeah, and I'll grab the shopkeeper.
Hello.
The girl next to her leans in to whisper something in her friend's ear, but doesn't talk to us.
Hey, so my friend and I are here from out of town. We know.
They both giggle to themselves.
We're filming a documentary sort of thing about Eisenfeld, and I was wondering if I could ask some questions.
Eisenfeld? Why here? What about it?
Well, we're doing a video about any sorts of rumors or local legends that you might have out here. Ghost stories or that kind of thing.
The two girls talk to each other in low voices that I can't pick up. The quieter girl is muttering something, and the girl with coffee is agreeing and nodding along. As one, they turn to face us again.
I don't think there's anything like that out here. This isn't that kind of place. Not a single one? When you were kids, your parents didn't tell you about stories about things that lived in the forest? You've never been out late at night and seen something you can't explain? We're not allowed out late at night.
Right. There's a curfew? The girls go quiet, nodding to themselves. Sensing a dead end, Tara changes her tactic.
Do either of you know a girl named Morgan? She's the mayor's daughter.
The first girl, the one with the coffee, grins at that and pulls at her companion's arm. The other girl swats her away, face turning pink. That's, normal. Yes, this is clearly a very normal town with nothing weird going on here.
Uh-oh. What, is everybody in the town a lesbian? Oh, I'm pretty sure everyone knows her.
She smiles devilishly at her embarrassed friend.
Some of us, better than others. What's she like? Why is she so famous?
Isn't that... Oh, this is the quiet girl.
No. Yeah,
she isn't that bad. She's just...
She's trouble, and you know it. Staying out after hours, sneaking around town. She spends a lot of time out in the woods, too, sometimes overnight. What do you think she's doing out there?
If there's a particular conclusion we're supposed to have reached, it's lost on me. Still, it can't be coincidence that we're 2 for 2 now on people being weirded out by Morgan. 3 for 3 if I count myself.
Chill, Madison. Do you think there's something out there?
The two girls blink as if their reaction was planned. Something like what? Sarah shrugs.
No idea. Like I said, that's why we're researching.
I don't think you'll find anything like that here. I'm sorry, but this isn't a very interesting place.
Right.
I stride away, leaving her behind. I head into a corner between 2 buildings, out of sight of the girls we spoke to. Tara catches up and then leans against the wall next to me.
That didn't go much better.
Really, you think? Was it just a coincidence that these 2 other random people we met happened to have the same opinion of Morgan as the first? She didn't tell her mom, the mayor of the whole town, that we're gonna be staying in a cabin that her mother probably owns. For a month. She rambles off stuff that makes any one of our videos look like an episode of Scooby-Doo, and then the next morning just dumps us off in the middle of the village. We haven't even been here for a day yet. We've seen our host for like an hour tops, and then we were practically asleep for most of that. How am I supposed to have a good opinion of her so far?
Well, yeah, she's gotta work. Come on, Mads, have a little faith. What's the worst that can happen? The lead turns out to be nothing, like the other 200 times before? Some girls gossip about us, and old Bum tells us to get lost.
207. And the worst part is that the whole town hates us, while we're stuck here after spending thousands of dollars to cross the world. To live in a wood cabin with no phone service and barely any internet. For a month. Gotta see the problem here, Tara. Tara sighs and throws up her hands.
Okay, so what? What is it you want me to do? We're here, and you hated it. I get it. So what's the solution? What is it you're hoping for here? Like I said before, let's just deal with it. Make the best of it we can. And try to have some fun? That was the whole point of this thing. It was supposed to be fun.
If she's trying to encourage me, she's doing a terrible job of it. Whatever, let's just get this over with. And this time, don't mention Morgan. If nobody likes her, then you're probably better off not bringing her up. I can see that she wants to say something, probably argue, but then she deflates and nods.
Okay. No, Morgan.
She goes quiet for a moment, staring off into the town. She takes a breath and sighs, visibly relaxing. starts to lead the way, not looking back at me. I feel a sharp pang of guilt as I stare at her back. I did promise to try, and here I am again, making everything worse. Sarah? Stops in place. Sorry. Again. Really. Smiles a bit sadly, but shrugs.
I get it, Mads. We're cool. Let's go. There's a lot more Terra normal in our future.
We exchange a small smile before continuing our march on. Eisenfeld seems to have built so that no matter what, you're always walking uphill. We make our way up yet another one, past a low, crumbling wall and a few more houses. As we make our way up the street, a bitter-looking old woman with a broom stops what she's doing and eyes us. We've walked this part of the road several times now, but she wasn't here before.
Hey, you! Who are you? You aren't from around here.
The last part is definitely a statement, not a question. Sarah slows down just a bit to mutter beside me.
Looks like we found number 3.
Sarah immediately puts on a friendlier face as we approach.
Good morning, ma'am. You're right, we're not.
Old lady voice. I walked uphill both ways in the snow!
It's uphills both ways. I'll tell you what. Oh, do I get to do that voice?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll be doing that voice.
Alright.
I'm Tara, and this is Maddie. We're here doing a research documentary on Eisenfeld. Would you mind if we asked you a couple questions? About some of the local legends and rumors from around here.
I'm actually afraid that she's gonna say yes, because I can already tell this is gonna end as badly as the last two. I've decided how to answer Tara's question of what I want. I just want to go back to the cabin and be bored. At least it's not awkward and uncomfortable in there.
Yeah, alright.
Oh no.
Great, thank you. So we've been hearing a lot of stuff about stuff out in the woods. Like, you are? Who told you that? We've been interviewing a few people this morning, and it's something that came up a few times. Stuff like lights, strange noises, that kind of thing. Have you ever witnessed anything like that? Never.
He looks around again, then steps just a little bit closer to us.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this now. Look, I'm gonna tell you this now for your own good. No one around here wants any trouble. We all just want to live our lives in peace. That's what Eisenfeld's all about. Mayor Fisher does a damn good job keeping things nice and orderly around here. We keep to ourselves, and I expect the two of you to do the same.
He nods solemnly, the interview clearly over. Just as useless as the other two. Oh, Weirdo, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the network.
Okay.
As we go, Tara waves over her shoulder.
Look. Thanks for your time.
Hello. Good to see you. And then, so only I can hear her.
Bitch.
As we walk away, I can tell it's not necessary to say anything to Tara. She trudges along beside me. Annoyed as I am, I still feel bad seeing her so bummed out. Maybe it's finally starting to sink in.
So now what?
She asked me that after the second interview, too. Now, I don't know. Let's go to Morgan's shop and eat lunch.
Wait, for real? You want to go see Morgan?
Mostly, I want to see what Morgan makes for lunch.
I'll take it. But hey, can you, like...
I'll be cool. Don't worry. He smiles, relieved.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I know you will.
I take out the map that Morgan gave us this morning. By now, I've been through the village enough times that I can mostly navigate there by memory.
What kind of shops does Morgan run? Do you remember?
I think she said it's an antique shop.
Which of those places even sell?
Hera?
Look, let her be a bimbo. It's okay.
Antiques. Lots of furniture that's been around for decades, or random stuff like books and glassware.
That's oddly specific.
My mom's into antiquing. She always says you'll never know what you'll find.
We should do an antique episode of Paranormal someday. We can have your mom on as a guest star.
I'm sure she'd love that.
Do you think Morgan sells anything really out there, like a possessed baby doll? Or her sword?
Who would want to buy those kinds of things?
The same people who go to rent fairs.
She got me. I can't help but laugh. Hera grins, enjoying the feedback.
Come on, Mads. Every good horror story starts out with buying something fishy from the local antique store. Maybe she has a special section for items with an ancient prophecy about them.
We're specifically trying to avoid the horror story scenarios, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess that would suck to live through. Okay, what if she lets us interview her talking cat instead? That's like a whole episode's worth of stuff right there.
The internet loves cat videos. That one could go viral.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, we should prep a list of questions for her before we get there, so we know what to say.
Ask it which brand of cat food tastes best. We can sell the video rights to that company.
Come on, I'm serious.
Wait, what?
What?
You seriously think that cat is gonna talk? Sarah shrugs, looking like she never questioned the idea.
I'm just trying to be prepared.
Thought she'd gotten the picture after that last interview went awry, but it seems like she's still giving Morgan some benefit of the doubt. Not even worth arguing with her over. She'll see soon enough as it is. I check over Morgan's map again. We're definitely in the area, since it says her shop is right by City Hall. Problem is, while her map shows how to get to the general area of her shop, it doesn't say which building it is, and there are several buildings that could fit.
Do you think this is the place? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Do you think this is the place?
It has to be.
Sarah's stomach growls loudly, and her voice was more like a plea than an affirmation.
Go check.
What? Check what?
Like, go check if it's her place or not.
Absolutely not. I'm not gonna just potentially walk into someone's home.
What's the big deal if it's not her place or you can just ask for directions?
No way. Trespassing is your thing, not mine.
He gave you crimes.
We go back and forth like this for a while, and right before we finally decide to set it with rock, paper, scissors, Morgan herself pokes her head out the door. Oh, fucking peek again.
Peek.
Hey, you two, I'm in here. For the first time since she met us at the station, I'm genuinely relieved to see Morgan.
Madison, chill out.
Yeah. Morgan holds the door open, a book under her arm and a cup of coffee in her free hand. Tara turns to me and talks in a quiet voice.
Ready to uncover some ancient treasures?
Lead on, Indiana. She doesn't need telling twice. Tara practically dashes the rest of the way inside, nearly bumping into Morgan as she goes. I nod stiffly as I enter more slowly. The door slams shut behind us. Morgan flips the sign on the door to close, although it's nearly invisible from the outside. Her shop looks just about how I expected. Piles of junk are strewn across chipped shelves. Many items aren't displayed so much as they appear to have been tossed and then forgotten. What the fuck is that lamp? What the fuck is that lamp?
Oh, these little piggies?
What the
fuck? Whoa. Pigs.
Holy shit.
I mean, alright, rare. I mean, it's there they are. It's them.
It's them.
These little piggies.
Oh fuck.
These ones right here.
Pig stack.
Pig stack.
A thick layer of dust covers everything. Tara's already bobbing around the store, examining some worryingly fragile ceramics. Morgan passes by her and back to the front counter, where she sets down the book she was carrying. Its title catches my eye. Complete collection of classic fairy tales, but looks extremely old. Wonder if it's an item for sale here. So, are you done looking around town? If she has any guess what kind of response we got today, she doesn't show it. It's still impossible to read. I've seen enough for today. Can we still take you up on that lunch offer? Sure thing. I've got something on the stove already. I figured you'd be coming over soon.
Hey, stove? Your store has a kitchen?
Yeah. I have a living space set up in the back since I sleep here most of the time. Feel free to look around. I'll be back. I do. That is a cute lantern up there, by the way. I want it.
Which one?
Yeah, like, upper left.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, it's cute.
It is pretty cute.
Yeah, hurricane lanterns like that are cute as hell.
Oh, yeah.
She disappears behind a curtain leading to another room, leaving us surrounded by treasures. When the whole town feels like an antique, a rocking chair and a few pieces of farming equipment probably aren't the biggest draws. I'm surprised she's even able to keep the place open. Tara's enthusiasm doesn't seem to have dimmed a bit, however. She takes time to examine each piece, turning it over in her hands like she's appraising fine art.
At least one of these is probably cursed.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's probably the grandfather clock over there.
No way, that's too easy. And even if it is cursed, it's probably something lame like making your toe hair grow fast. But this, well...
Is it gonna be the lamp? Tara takes an item off the counter, holding it close to her chest. Yes! It's a lamp, but the stand is 3 very realistic pigs standing on top of each other. The lampshade has these little piggies printed on it like a scripture.
This is the big leagues. You want a curse that's gonna last for generations? Use this bad boy. Hey, you think Morgan would mind if I bought my Ouija board in here?
As she says that, she puts the pig lamp back in its rightful place, where it can't hurt anyone.
I wonder how that works, actually. Like, if you bring two cursed objects to the same place, do the evil spirits get into a turf war? Or do they team up to defeat humanity?
Did you seriously bring the Ouija board again?
That Ouija board has been on every single trip with us, besides if it's in my suitcase.
I pick up a small ornament from a shelf nearby. It's a snake made out of crystal. There's no price tag attached, if you have to ask. Morgan pulls back the curtain she went through. Okay, food's ready. She comes out carrying an enormous tray that's probably also an item for sale here. On the tray are steaming bowls of some kind of soup, as well as a pitcher of water and a loaf of bread.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
She sets the tray down on the counter, doling out portions to each of us. Hesitantly, I try a spoonful of the soup. It's delicious. It has a rich and meaty flavor, but isn't too heavy. And it's hot, but not too hot to gulp down. I dip some of the bread in the broth. That's delicious too. Everything here is definitely homemade. This is really, really good.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Thanks. Let me know if you want more. Morgan stolidly keeps eating, the praise barely seeming to register on her. It's a shame. That's probably the one nice thing I'll have to say to her all trip. More! Maddie! Maddie! Jesus Christ! Maddie!
Madison, can you, like, calm down? Like, what? I'm sorry you took a bitch juice this morning.
Just meet your ghost girlfriend already and become a better fucking person. Once she's finished, Morgan picks up her book and starts to read again, while Tara and I are still in the middle of eating. I glance over at Tara, who is very intently staring at her spoon. She finishes her bowl and rattles the spoon around a bit.
Can I take you up on that refill?
Of course. Without looking up, Morgan picks up both her book and her bowl and heads into the back again. She emerges a moment later with a fresh serving of soup, which she wordlessly sets down in front of Tara. Only after we've both taken our last bites does she finally close the book again. All done?
Yeah, thanks.
I'm done too. Thank you. Let me get those out of the way then. She hauls away all the dirty dishes before rejoining us at the counter. So, what are your plans for the rest of the day? I fight back the urge to tell her that she should be the one making plans for us and showing us around. At least this way I can go back to the cabin sooner.
We're still figuring that out. We hadn't gotten to see you much, so we decided to come over.
Oh, right. I'm sorry about that. I'll take a couple days off, starting tomorrow.
You sure? We don't need to miss out on any business or anything.
There aren't that many customers who come through. You're the first ones all week, and you don't even count. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to react to that, so I don't say anything.
It's too bad. You've got a lot of cool stuff. I was looking around some while you cooked.
I wouldn't get too excited. I just make up interesting stories for the items so they sound more entertaining. It helps pass the time.
Right.
Morgan says it so casually that there's no way she knows just how relieved I am to hear that. It lines up neatly with what I already suspected. That everything Morgan included in her email is even more made up than usual, and this is all a colossal waste of time. Most likely, she's a fan of the show who wanted to trick us into coming out here, and we fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Tara's realized any of this. She, of course, doesn't say anything. But judging by the way her enthusiasm vanished, it seems like she's starting to get it. Again. Fiddling with some silver knickknacks, she looks up from the counter to Morgan.
So, can we see the talking cat?
As soon as Tara asks, I can see Morgan's eyes light up with interest. Her hand slides away from the book she'd been about to open. Oh no. Of course. I'm sure she'd be happy to finally meet you. Her voice wavers just the smallest bit with what sounds like excitement. It's the first shred of emotion I've detected from her since stepping off the train. I'll go get her. Just give me 1 minute. Morgan exits once more, but this time through an actual door instead of a curtain. We probably could have gotten out of here without seeing the cat, you know.
Why would I want to do that? This is the piece de resistance. Sorry, I had to say that
Oh no, don't worry. She doesn't even try to pronounce it right.
Oh well.
Are you serious? Still? You know it's not gonna actually talk, right? I can't fathom how there's even a trace of belief rattling around in Tara's skull.
Did you see her face? She's definitely not joking. Unless she's really bad at telling jokes.
That would be the most normal thing about her so far. She just told you, flat out, that she makes up stories and tries to get other people to believe her. How can you not see that we're getting scammed too?
Can you please calm down, Maddie?
Yeah.
Anyway, come on, Mads. Try to have at least a little bit of faith.
The door opens once more, and out strides Morgan. There's also the soft sound of little kitty feet on the hard wooden floor.
Kitty feet. Some beans.
Talking or not, the cat staring up at me is undeniably beautiful. Its white fur seemingly glistens like snow, and its eyes are a piercing azure blue. Tara leaps from her seat and crashes to her knees. The cat doesn't flinch at all, despite the commotion.
Oh my god. I love her. I love her so much.
I love you so much.
No, you. Oh, yes, and you.
She looks up at Morgan, eyes as white as dinner plates and fingers wriggling.
Can I pet her? Please tell me I can pet her.
Deladura, can she pet you? The cat doesn't say anything, of course. It does rub against Tara's waiting hand, though, causing her to let out some sort of mix between a coo and a sob. I can tell Tara just got her money's worth out of the trip. Go on, say something. These are the two I've been telling you about. Tara? Maddie? Morgan gestures as if introducing us to her. She looks between the cat and us expectantly. Seeing its master's attention, the cat goes from nuzzling Tara's hand to nuzzling Morgan's leg close by. He meows happily. The cat, not Morgan. Come on. You're going to make me look like an idiot if you don't say something. Morgan uses her foot to nudge the cat towards Tara, who's still crumpled on the floor. The cat indignantly tries to escape, her claws scraping uselessly against the wood. Finally, Geladura scurries away, sitting down and licking a paw. Her tail swishes rapidly as she and Morgan stare at each other. And then... absolutely nothing. What a surprise. I'm not even disappointed. Vindicated. Even Tara's enthusiasm is gone. She coos at the cat half-heartedly, but overall she's just trying to give Morgan an out. Come on, Geladura. They're waiting. It's like watching a car wreck. I can't look away. Morgan sticks to her at, scowling at the wholly mundane cat. It doesn't seem to faze Geladura, who simply yawns and settles down onto the floor, just out of Tara's arm's reach. Whatever previous excitement she had just about evaporated, and is instead replaced with some kind of mixed frustration. That's when I start to realize a horrifying truth. Finally looks away from us, twisting her fingers together and gritting her teeth. When it seems like she's decided on what to say, turns back to us. I'm sorry. I don't know why she's being so stubborn.
Well, you know how cats are.
Tara manages an extremely fake laugh as she gets up and steps closer to me. Oh, hello, Niall! Great to see you! Tara was right about one thing after all. Morgan wasn't lying to us. But now Tara's realizing where she was wrong. Morgan's also crazy. It doesn't seem like she's acting. It seems like Morgan's genuinely shocked that her cat didn't greet us by name. She talks to me all the time. I told her you two were trustworthy. That should be enough. It's fine. I'm sure she's just shy. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, she just met us. We've got plenty of time for her to warm up to us, right?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We should probably just give her some space for now and try again later. Maybe in a few days. At this point, I don't care. It's a good thing I've played along with everything so far, because it allows us to make a diplomatic exit. I guess you're right. Still, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. She'll get over herself soon enough. She glowers at the cat, who's still napping peacefully.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Tara steps back away from the counter and into the display area again.
Anyways, thanks for lunch, Morgan. We really appreciate it.
We, have a couple more places we want to check out today, so we'll probably head out again. Okay. Come back here when you want to ride back to the cabin. Her expression is back to unreadable. Right.
Right.
Oh.
Right, sure. Thanks so much. Good to meet you, Gelato.
Hera waves at Geladura, whose ear twitches, but otherwise can't be bothered to acknowledge us. The heavy door slams shut behind us as we step into the cold. I wonder if Morgan will remember to switch the sign back the other way. Oh, quick note, it is about midnight now, so you want to keep going, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was thinking when we get to a point that it like, well, I didn't want to like automatically leave on a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when a good like time to like call the first night would be?
I think there's a point coming up in like half an hour to an hour. Yeah.
Okay, half hour might be a bit much.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we are kind of at like a good point, sadly.
Okay. I mean, hey, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Right.
That's chapter. Wow. How many chapters are there?
6. We're not even done.
Oh,
We're not even done with chapter 1.
Okay. I mean, all right.
This is a 130,000 word visual novel.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a long one.
I mean, it's genuinely fun.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Wow. Not back over to just chatting and wrap up for now.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, this is a really good story. It is just very long.
Maddie needs to stop being a bitch.
Yeah, Maddie needs to stop being a piece of shit.
Like, please.
Yeah, I do remember, them yeah, I do remember the devs at one point talking about how, like, that whole scene of, like, interviewing, like, the folks around the town and such accidentally became a 10th of the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, was that actually a whole 10th of the game?
Yeah.
Or will it continue?
That, like, scene is pretty much done for now, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Maddie's an asshole, yeah. She gets better, I promise. Yeah.
Okay. Give her a ghost girlfriend.
Yeah, she will get one. There is at least one really, really gay ghost in this, so don't you worry.
I'm curious. Is them ending the show kind of a proxy for them breaking in?
No. They weren't dating previously.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I have an idea of who I want to raid tonight. It's something I don't usually get, someone I don't usually get to raid, and I am very excited to be able to. I'm gonna go raid my wonderful, amazing, lovely friend, Alicia, aka Flaromorpho, who is super sweet and wonderful and amazing. Yeah. How about, tonight we'll do a snowfall raid. Yeah, that sounds nice. Don't forget, if you don't have a Twitch sub, you can just spend like 150 channel points to unlock it, and yeah. Yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out, joining. Thank you for coming to this very late stream.
Yeah, sorry my work schedule is weird.
Not your fault at all, sweetie. I had a lot of fun reading this with you, and we're gonna do it again in the future, because this was really nice.
Absolutely. I'm gonna try and remember that. I'm forgetful, to say the least.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing more work on Soul and Silicon, my queer trans dating sim for the Game Boy Color. I'm really excited for how it's going. There's some really cool stuff going on with it. But, yeah. When you get over to Alicia's channel, please drop her a follow. She is really cool, and I care about her a lot, and I'm really gay for her. Yeah.
We're all gay for everybody.
Yeah.
Come on.
But yeah, with that, I am gonna send y'all on over. Let's get this going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you soon!